Srimad Bhagavatam teaches that the supreme occupation for all humanity is the loving devotional service to the Lord. Such service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted by any type of selfish concerns in order to completely satisfy the self. Every living being is searching for happiness. That is something we all have in common. Not only all classes of human beings, but all species of life are seeking pleasure. It is our constitutional nature to seek pleasure because we are part of Krishna, who is the reservoir of all pleasure. But Krishna tells us in Gita, Yehi samsparashaja bhoga dhukashonaya evate atyanta kanta konteya nakteshuramate buddha. That what people are seeking in the name of pleasure, in the form of temporary sense enjoyment, is the source of pain. Why? Because it is temporary. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam tells that the highest goal we can strive for is the highest pleasure. Krishna Prem, pure love of God. That is only to be understood through service to the Lord. And real satisfaction is to the degree our service is unmotivated or uninterrupted. How many people in this world today understand this truth? That real happiness can only be experienced through undivided, unmotivated, unconditional, loving service to the Lord. Due to lack of this information, so much cruelty, so much anxiety, intoxication, and frustration. Because we are seeking what we are looking for in a mirage. When a person is starving in the desert, they're desperate for water. And it is that desperation that causes a person to see things that are not what they appear. Maya is translated as that which is not. Maya does not mean that this entire creation is an illusion, as some people profess, because it is an energy of the Lord. How can we say it is an illusion? Maya is when we see something to be what it is not. If we see a snake to be a rope, and we pick it up thinking that it will be of some assistance to us, that is Maya. You're thinking it is a friendly rope, but it is a serpent that is about to strike you. Or when we think a rope to be a snake, although the rope can help us in so many ways. We're very much afraid and run away from our friend. That is Maya. And in this desert of material existence, actually, material existence is a paradise for those who see everything in truth, in relationship to God. This material world becomes transformed into the spiritual world. Thakur Bhaktivinoda prays, when I come home to my house and see my family engaging in the service of the Lord, I am entering into Goloka Vrindavan. This is the experience. But when we're looking for pleasure, not in reference or relationship to our true self, then this world becomes like a desert before us. And we're desperate. It's not a matter of who is rich and who is poor. Everyone is desperate for pleasure, for relief from the agonies that come upon us. And in that desperation, because we want it so bad, we begin to hallucinate. And sand looks like water. And we run with whatever little energy we have. We strive to achieve that mirage. And mentally, we think it will satisfy us. Mentally, we're so convinced that it's water that we'll go through great efforts to achieve it. And even when it's in our hands, although it's hot sand, because the mind so much wants to believe it will satisfy me, we're feeling refreshing water. And we drink it. And at the beginning, it may even taste like water. That is the power of the mind. As one writer has said, the mind is a thing of itself. It could make heaven into hell or hell into heaven. But realistically, that sand only increases our thirst. Therefore, the Bhagavatam tells that if we want real happiness, true happiness, the formula is very simple. We have to learn how to love. Not a love that is limited to the temporary body and relations we have with this body. Because that will end within a few years. And it could end at any time. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. This is a world of many uncertainties. This is not a pessimistic ideal. It is a realistic conception. Because without realistic conceptions, we do not know what to really invest our energies to strive for. Real happiness is to love. And the truest, purest love is the love of the soul, our essence, our true and eternal identity. That love of the soul finds its fulfillment in reuniting this great propensity with our source or with God. The Srimad Bhagavatam compares Lord Krishna, or whatever name one may call upon the Lord, as the root of the tree of existence. When we place the water of our love on the root of the tree, then it is naturally and spontaneously distributed to every part of the tree. When there is love of God, there is spontaneous love for every living being. There cannot be anything else. Why? Because we see everyone in their relationship with ourselves and with God. Universal brotherhood or sisterhood can only come about when we recognize the common mother and father. Aham bija pratapita. Krishna is the seed-giving father and the nourishing mother of every living being. In Bible, it is said to love God with all your heart, your mind, and your soul. That means total absorption. And to love your neighbor as yourself. If we do not know ourselves, how can we love anybody as ourselves? And if we do not know God, we cannot know ourselves. To love your neighbor as yourself is the natural consequence of loving God. It is the testimony, the evidence of one who loves God. Is they are instruments of kindness to everyone. So it is for this purpose that devotees from many directions come on Sunday to this temple, especially to help one another to come closer to our cherished goal. To chant the holy names of the Lord, which is the Yugal Dharma, the process that has the greatest potency to cleanse our hearts and awaken the essence of what we want in life. And to hear the philosophy and teachings of the Holy Scriptures, and to hear how great personalities have lived by these principles to set examples, and have written beautiful books and poetry and spoken so many words for that purpose. Actually, for the great devotees of the Lord, their only purpose in this world is to assist the mission of the Lord. The mission of the Lord is compassion. That's the only thing the Lord does in this world. In the spiritual world, He is enjoying divine pastimes for all eternity. But the Lord descends again and again to this world simply for the purpose of showing compassion to all of us. Other words, why? To show compassion to us. So therefore, the true devotees, they live in this world according to their occupational duties, according to their natures, for that purpose. So to hear about their lives and what they have given us, to hear about their love for Krishna, is one of the most purifying and important topics to discuss within our human society. So many things are being discussed. So many subjects are being promoted. Muneyasaru prishtoham bhavadbir lokamangalam yatkrita Krishna samprasno. So Sutta Goswami told the sages of Naimisharanya that your questions to me are glorious because the subject matter of your questions is Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the answers to your questions are meant for the ultimate benefit, the supreme welfare for all humanity. And we see that throughout the ages in all parts of this world, spiritual science has been revealed through dialogue, through people asking questions and receiving answers from self-realized souls, or those who repeat the words of self-realized souls. And every one of us can do that. We may not be self-realized, but we can repeat the words of the self-realized souls. And to the degree we're striving to follow those words ourselves, then those words can manifest through us with great potency, a potency billions of times beyond our own, to create transformation, enlightenment, and joy in people's lives. How is it possible that humble, insignificant souls can do that? That is the greatness of God. That He can empower His little instruments to do wonderful things. Yesterday was the disappearance day of one such great Vaishnav. With your permission, today I would like to speak very briefly about his life and sing some of his songs and discuss some of his writings. Do you grant me permission? Or would you rather take prasad? I didn't hear anything to my second proposal, so I will speak something. Locana Das Thakur, one of the great saints of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. We would like to sing one beautiful song that was very, very dear to the heart of our beloved Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. He sang it many times. It is a song expressing love and gratitude to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who is Krishna and Balaram, who appear in this age of Kali as the essence of all avatars, to give love of God in such a simple and accessible way. In Atlanta, Georgia, as well as Miami, Florida, when Srila Prabhupada came to those temples and saw the predominating deities of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, he was very deeply moved. In his arrival address in Miami, he was telling all the various places he traveled in his previous weeks. to Mexico and California and so many places in South America. And he said, but it is my observation that your temple in Miami is the best. And devotees were very happy to hear that. Of course, sometimes he would say that wherever he was, just to encourage the hearts of the devotees. But Srila Prabhupada was very, very much pleased and overwhelmed with satisfaction to see the deities of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda being worshipped so enthusiastically with the devotion of the devotees. Then he went to Atlanta, Georgia. Actually, I'm sorry. It was Atlanta, Georgia, he said it was best. Miami was one of the names on the list. And in Atlanta, one day before class, Srila Prabhupada looked at the beautiful deities of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda and did something that was not his usual style. He sang this song by Locana Das Thakur before the class. After singing this song, describing the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, he gazed upon them and went into a state of transcendental ecstasy. His eyes filled with tears, and he could not speak. He only said, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they have come. They are so merciful. And meditating on their mercy, seeing people from such a foreign culture, people addicted to so many degraded activities, surrendering their lives to the Lord, was an overwhelming experience for Srila Prabhupada. Because he never ever considered that himself was the doer. He never took credit for anything. He always saw that he was simply the puppet, the wooden puppet dancing in the hands of his Guru and Krishna. And how the Lord was attracting so many people's hearts.